Rob Blagojevich, the brother of disgraced Illinois Governor Rod Blagojevich, had the chance to tell his story on the witness stand today, but things got a little awkward when the prosecution played a tape on which Rob can be heard encouraging the governor to engage in, quote, horse trading with President Obama in order to kill the federal investigation into his administration. And the defense has signaled that it is preparing to rest. That means the fate of Governor Blagojevich will soon lie in the hands of the jury. Joining me now with analysis, our criminal defense attorney and Fox News contributor Tamara Holder. She's been following the trial very closely, and defense attorney Rebecca Rose Woodland. Guys, good to see you. Thanks for being here.
Good to see you.
All right, Tamara, you've been following this, and up until a short time ago, we thought there was a chance that Rombo, Deadfish, may be called. What happened?
I think this case turned into like the Balloon Boy case where we found out that we were just chasing hot air with nobody inside. This case was the biggest flop for Fitzgerald. Even if Governor Blagojevich is found guilty, it was still a flop. Remember, we were supposed to see Fitzgerald roll over in his grave. There was nothing of the sort. What happened was the defense realized in the cross-examination, the poor cross-examination of Robert Blagojevich, who's the co-defendant and brother to Rod, that there was no need to put any witnesses on, no need to put Blagojevich on and subject him to cross-examination. Keep it simple, stupid. Let's just rest on what the government put on and go from there. Put it in the jury's hands.
What about the horse trading tape?
Well, I think that you can take things out of context. Maybe there are things here and there that he's said that if you pick things apart in conversations, as I've said before, they can look bad. But when you look at the entire conversation, there were multiple conversations where Robert said, fundraising is not a part of me deciding or the governor deciding about an appointment. And that's what this comes down to.
So you're saying there's enough exculpatory to create doubt, and that's the standard of which they've got to just create doubt in the minds of the jury, and that contradicts the horse trading comment.
Exactly.
So,
you know what, Sean? They need to prove their case beyond a reasonable doubt. The defense is going to come in and say, should we put Rod on the stand? He's a loose cannon. Let's step back and say, did the prosecution prove this? Members of the jury? No, they did not. All of that was puffery. It was political maneuvering. It doesn't necessarily mean it was any sort of contempt or an attempt to get money.
It's shocking, though, because when we first heard the tapes and I had Blagojevich on this program, I think I did a better job than Fitzgerald, who has a great reputation, for crying out loud.
You did a great job. All he kept saying was, there's going to be evidence, though.
Yeah.
Sean, I'm going to show you some evidence.
I know, but
we haven't really seen any, but he doesn't have to.
At this, no, and if he took the stand, dumbest move he could make, right?
Absolutely. Right. Oh, he's a loose cannon. His ego is so big. I think he just talk all over his words.
Well, what about Rombo, Tamara? Why not? I got to be honest. His fingerprints are all over this thing. He gets off the hook in the end here.
Well, right, and that's this whole other part of this case. I said this last week. He is like a bookend or bookends. He was mentioned in the beginning of the trial. He was mentioned at the end of the trial. He was involved, whether Obama knew or not, whether Jesse Jackson knew or not. Rahm Emanuel was part of this deal. And why, the mainstream media hasn't picked up on this and questioned. Remember, the administration released a report saying that there was no contact, but there was.
All right, so you think he's getting off?
Of course he is, but you know what? This isn't a trial. It's not him.
All right, what do you think?
This is Rod Blagojevich.
You know what? It's hard to say at this point, but I don't think the prosecution proved their case as strongly as they claimed they were going to. They didn't have any of the huge evidence against them, anything that we already knew. We knew all of this.
Well, all right, guys, I got to run. Tamara, we're just out of time, but guys, fascinating. I promise we're going to continue to follow it. Thank you both.